You're following breaking news, more attacks and threats of violence across the Middle East. You're looking live at Beirut, Lebanon, with smoke rising yet again this morning, or technically afternoon there. But Iran vowing to take revenge and calling for blood over the relentless American and Israeli strikes against its forces. It's Thursday, March 5th, and we're coming to you live from our NewsNation headquarters right here in America's heartland. It's time for News for All Americans. I'm Markie Martin, and this morning I'm joined by NewsNation Live anchor Connell McShane, who's live for us in Istanbul, Turkey. Connell, good morning to you, my friend. Your crew got there, 24 hours ago? Istanbul is one of the major cities closest to this conflict. Is everything business as usual there? I'm kind of wondering what the feel is in that city and on the streets.
Oh, it actually is business as usual, Markie. It's really interesting because Turkey was, as you know, and you and I talked about this earlier in the show, dragged into this conflict yesterday. But if you look behind me, for example, just over my shoulder, there's a soccer stadium. You can probably make it out of the shot. Last night there was a game, and we had, it's a local Turkish club team, Markie, and there was a goal scored, and the board is lighting up like it would be in any other city. Cabs are running. So Istanbul is one of the places, Markie, this is interesting, that is still operating almost completely normally. In this region. It's one of the reasons we started our reporting. We may try to move around a little bit, but starting here seemed to make sense partially for that reason.
Yeah, I was wondering if there was a sense of fear or if people, felt like they were watching history in the making, or if it was something else entirely. But interesting color and context there about the game last night.
Well, life goes on for a lot of these people. There are a lot of Iranians living here, which is part of it. So if you want to talk about fear, anticipation, anxiety, they certainly have it. And again, the headlines yesterday certainly caught people's attention. But speaking of headlines, it's day 6 now of this conflict. And, for people just waking up in the United States, quick run through here of what we're seeing. I mean, certainly no let up from the U.S. or from Israel. We've already heard from the IDF, and they've been targeting an Iranian fighter jet or jets, and also missile storage facilities have been hit in Tehran. The Israelis also continue to have to defend their own territory from the incoming Iranian strikes, as Iran's not letting up either across the Middle East, as a matter of fact, including this new report this morning of a strike in Azerbaijan. Officials there have said that 2 civilians were hurt. You had drones landing near an airport and a school. So that's another country dragged in, just as this one was yesterday. Istanbul in the headlines as we were arriving, a missile was shot down heading into Turkish airspace. It was over the western part of the country that we had this video coming in. Still really unclear whether the missile actually was targeting Turkey itself. The Turkish President Erdogan, has been trying to play a little bit of both sides on the conflict, not taking a side necessarily, but also publicly, even though Turkey's a member of NATO, calling out the United States, calling out Israel for, in his view, violating international law with their strikes in Iran. So to my earlier point about speaking to people here in this city, in Istanbul, this Iranian gentleman who we spoke to yesterday was really, really interesting. He used to lead protests years ago in Iran, and now he says he's hoping to go back there and hopes the tyranny in his nation will one day finally come to an end. Listen.
But I feel like I'm an American because we have the same values. We are asking to have the same values like America, and like America, we do not want to be governed with this tyranny. We want to be valued as a humanitarian valued, and so on. So we want to have the same rights internationally, what the other people have, and so on.
So that's the thoughts of one man here. More broadly, the foreign minister of Iran is promising the United States will, quote, bitterly regret the sinking of an Iranian warship in the Indian Ocean. Secretary of War Pete Hegseth talked about it in his briefing yesterday, saying it's the first time that an enemy vessel has been sunk by the United States forces using a torpedo going all the way back to World War II. Off the coast of Sri Lanka, there's an AP News alert from that region today saying another Iranian ship, was spotted off the coast of that nation. So that's, again, another region to watch in all of this. And the other thing, NewsNation's learned, Markie, from a source that Iran has been trying to talk to the United States, sending messages to the U.S., trying to open up a line of communication and/or dialogue. But from our reporting, Kelly Meyer at the White House confirming this yesterday, there has not been a response, at least yet, to those Iranian outreaches, Markie. Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.